natural disaster that may happen in your community. Hey everyone, it's Julina, and I'm here to tell you all you need to know about disaster preparedness. What are the things you need to prepare? What to do during a disaster? Who do we call for help? Some quick facts on disaster currently here in the Philippines. And lastly, the importance of being prepared during a disaster. Let's start! So what are the things we need to prepare beforehand? First and most important, water for drinking and sanitation. Food, at least 3 days supply of non-perishable food. Battery-powered radio, cell phone with chargers, and backup batteries for contact purposes. Flashlight in case it gets dark. First aid kit, whistle, mask, wipes for personal sanitation, local maps, and finally a plastic sheets and duct tape for shelter purposes. Next, what to do before, during, and after a disaster. Before a disaster. Before a disaster, you should first make an emergency plan for your own family at home. Make sure that everything you need is easily accessible in case of sudden disasters. Also, you should be knowledgeable on what protective measure to take before, during, and after evacuation. This is for a preparation of whatever type of evacuation that will be carried out in your specific area. Lastly, you should put into mind your local emergency contact numbers, or better to list them and place it where you can easily see them. In case a disaster strikes and your family needs an immediate help, the earlier you call, the faster you'll be taken care of and rescued. Now, during the disaster. During the disaster, first thing you should always put into your mind is to stay calm. Because if you are calm, you think more properly and you make more wise decisions that will reflect on your actions. The next thing you need to do is wait for further instructions and follow your area's protocol on how to evacuate. This is to ensure that everyone is safe and no one will go missing. Finally, after the disaster. After the disaster strikes, you should find a safe place to stay and check in with your local official for their instruction. Second, before you return home, you should make sure it is safe, and only to do so when your official have instructed you to. If you encounter problems financially, reach out your local service relief organization for assistance. Most importantly, check in your family members. Ask them about how they feel and comfort them when needed. This is important so that each member will know how to cope up with their feelings after the disaster. Now that I have told you the things you need to do during, before, and after the disaster, here are the contact persons that you need to list down in case of an emergency. 1. Your immediate family. 2. Local barangays. 3. Fire department. 4. Local police stations. 5. Local hospital. And lastly, National Emergency Hotline, and here in the Philippines, it's 911. I will be now providing you with some quick facts related to disaster in the Philippines. First, the Philippines is situated within the Pacific Ring of Fire, a 40,000-kilometer-long U-shaped fault zone in the Pacific Ocean, making us vulnerable to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. 2. Aside from COVID-19 pandemic, there are many disasters occurred within the country, and the very previous one is a typhoon named Odette that hits many places here in the Philippines. This hunted public lives, business, and mobility that greatly affected the Philippines' economy. Third, and last fact, the local government unit in the Philippines are the ones responsible for rehabilitating the society, rebuilding infrastructure from the aftermath of the natural disasters that comes into the country. The importance of disaster preparedness. Why is it important to be prepared for a disaster? Being prepared can reduce fear, anxiety, and losses that accompany disasters. Communities, families, and individuals should know what to do in the event of fire and where to seek shelter during a powerful storm and other disaster. Just keep it in mind that it's always better to prepare now than to fail to do so once the worst has come. So stay safe, everyone. That's all for this video. I hope you learned something on how to deal with the disaster. Thank you!